On our way down to collect Esther, my ST170 powered Mk1 Escort. Gavin Pink. Morning. My souvenir. Look at some of the other projects. E-type Jag. That wood steering wheel. Mk1 Cortina panels. Series 1 RS Turbo. Looking pristine. The little Fiat. None of us know what it's called. My good friend Che, what do you reckon? Excellent. Check out how good Esther is looking now. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, this is my beautiful girlfriend Kat, and today you join us from the cockpit of Roger, Kat's plastic Ford Fiesta. We're currently on our way down to the paint shop to collect Esther, my ST170 powered Mk1 Escort. Gavin and his team have had the car now for about 5 or 6 weeks, and I've been really enjoying checking out the updates of the repair on their YouTube channel, which I'll leave a link to in the description. If you haven't already done so, definitely go to their channel and give them a sub to keep up to date with all their future uploads. My friend Che at SWAN Autos is currently on his way to Gavin's as well to help me collect Esther. Unfortunately, the weather is dire, so Esther will be getting wet today, but that's beyond our control. Anyway, we should be at Gavin's in about 15 minutes, so I'll catch back up with you then. All right, so I've made it to the paint shop where I joined Gavin Pink. Morning. Massive thanks for all your hard work. I've been enjoying watching progress on your channel. But yeah, without further ado, check out how good Esther is looking now. It's fair to say I'm over the moon with the results. Esther is looking better than she ever did. Now, as I mentioned, you can follow progress of this repair on Gavin's channel, but in short, it's had a new rear quarter panel this side, it's had a new rear panel. Gavin also changed the inner tub while the quarter panel was off, and yeah, it's had all the paint work that's necessary. The paint has been blended into the driver's door. The rear quarter has obviously been painted, the rear panel, and it's been blended into the passenger side rear quarter as well. If we look into the boot, the whole inside of the boot area has been repainted. That's the inner tub bit that was replaced while the quarter panel was off. But yeah, this is looking absolutely mint. Yeah, over the moon. Absolutely pristine. Now, a lot of people were saying in the comments of Gavin's videos that I should keep the blue boot on it, and I will definitely be keeping the blue metal boot lid on Esther until I fit the brand new carbon fibre one. Sorry, Anoraks. Oh, another thing that Gavin and the team did while it was here is they've rolled the rear arches, which means I'm going to be able to push the rear wheels out a bit to improve the fitment, and that's something that I always wanted to do anyway. If we have a look in here, obviously the new quarter panel would have been attached down here, so all this has been repainted. I need to get another Ford badge for the sill, but yeah, it's all looking absolutely pucker. Another thing they did is replace the door pins on the driver's door. It's never shut properly, and I always thought it was down to the aftermarket seal, but yeah, it's way better now. It never shut that easy before, but yeah, just look how mint she is now. All right, so I've decided to keep the old rear quarter panel just as a bit of a memento, but Gavin's very kindly going to chop it down for me a bit. I just want to keep the dented area. Ideally, I'd love to keep the whole thing if I had a massive workshop like this to hang on the wall, but yeah, I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to transport if we just cut it down here. So there's my souvenir. I've also still got the old carbon fibre bumper. I'm thinking about chopping that into pieces if any of you guys want a piece of it. All right, so we're just waiting for Che to turn up to pick Esther up. In the meantime, let's have a look at some of the other projects that Gavin and his team are cracking on with at the moment. Got an E-type Jag in this corner. I think these were the E-type Jag panels that were in the booth before. But yeah, these things are really, really cool. Check out that wood steering wheel. This thing's absolutely gutted. No engine in the bay at the moment. I wonder what's going in there. Don't these things have V12s? Over in this corner, I've spotted some Mk1 Cortina panels. Apparently the guy who owns that Cortina is changing a lot of the panels for aluminium panels because he wants to get the car under 750 kilos. Yeah, the Series 1 RS Turbo that was here when we dropped Esther off is still here. Just waiting for some trim parts so that can be put back together. Here's the bonnet on a trestle in front of it, looking pristine. The little Fiat is still here as well. None of us really know what it's called. Ascenti or a Cincenti, I don't know. The guy that owns this actually owns the Mk1 Cortina that I was telling you about. My good friend Che has arrived. What do you reckon?
Excellent.
It's all right, isn't it?
Looks like it hasn't even been touched.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Ronnie, what do you reckon? Is it good enough? Is it good enough? All right, so Che's gonna reverse his truck up and then we can get Esther out of here and get out of Gavin and his team's way. Esther is on the truck. My souvenir has been wrapped up to protect Cat's interior. All right, Gavin, I can finally get out your way.
No problem.
Massive thanks to you and your team for all your hard work.
Yeah, no, we've enjoyed repairing it. It's been good.
Cool, man.
Great to meet you guys.
Yeah, and you, man. And you.
You know, plenty of new followers we've had as well,
Yeah.
so it's all good.
That's good. Now, we'll leave links to Gavin's website and his social media in the description of this video. Definitely get in touch with him if you want a proper paint job on your car. And as I mentioned earlier, do subscribe to their YouTube channel to keep up to date with all the cool stuff they're going to be getting up to in the future. We've hit traffic straight away, which isn't ideal. There's why we had traffic.
Oh, you can't even go down that side.
Right, Che, massive thanks as always. Really appreciate that.
Anytime, mate.
There's a Esther mug for you. No worries,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Now, I will leave Che's contact details in the description. If you need any car transportation or recovery, definitely get in touch with him and let him know that I sent you. Other than that, I'll let you get on with your day, man. Later on. Well, there she is, back at home at last. Let's see if she's actually going to start. Really need to adjust her cold start. Oh well, looks like we're gonna have to push her in the garage. All right, so that's Esther safely back in her garage. Still got a few things I need to do on this car before I can put it back on the road. Obviously need to charge the battery now. Need to mess about with the cold start on the ECU. Need to take some fuel out when it's cold, because it's fouling the plug, so it's basically too rich when you're trying to start it up. Soon I'm going to be collecting the new carbon fibre rear bumper and the new carbon fibre ducktail boot lid and fitting those. I need to get the Coogan's half shafts back off and give those back to them. I've got Esther's half shafts over here. I still need to get some new bearings put on those, and I'm going to put some longer studs so that I can run thin wheel spacers on the rear wheels to improve the fitment. But yeah, I'm definitely not in a hurry to get Esther back on the road because it's now winter. But I am obviously very happy that she's finally home. Just put Esther's old rear quarter panel piece on top of the new project for a bit, and we'll chuck Esther's old bumper in there as well. Now at the moment the new project has got the interior fitted back into it, and I've got all the glass and the door cards and stuff leaning on the back seat. But this car is probably going to be going to CLUMPFAB in about a week's time, so I'll be tearing all that interior back out then, and while that car's at CLUMPFAB all the bits can live in this garage. I do need to get rid of these old bucket seats that came out of Maud, my other Maud or Mk1 Escort. They're very tatty, not very comfortable, but I'm sure I'll be able to get 20 quid each for them or something. There was a guy recently that got in touch to say he might be interested in purchasing one of these bucket seats. I am going to sell them as a pair, so if that's you, definitely get in touch. Or if anyone else fancies a really cheap set of bucket seats, get in touch. You'll have to collect them from either Greenford, which is where I work, or Bushy near Watford, which is where I live. Yeah, this car is pretty much ready to go to CLUMPFAB. I still need to dig out the 2-pack primer and stuff where the trim holes are on this door and this rear quarter, and I might actually dig out the rear arches slightly and the lower rear quarters just to check that there's nothing else hiding behind the previous prep work. And I would like to try and get the front wings to fit a little bit better before I send it to CLUMPFAB as well. But if not, he's more than capable of getting the panels to fit better than I can anyway. As for Maud, I do want to have a check quickly just to see if the fuel pump is working today. If you watch the last video, you'll know that Maud's fuel pump died just after the dyno session, and obviously I'm glad that it died after the dyno session rather than during. But yeah, when that happened it was dark, and I was more interested in getting the car back onto Wes's truck than actually trying to identify the issue. And I did look at the fuse that night. It does look all right. Now, I just had a look in the daylight and you can see that this fuse isn't broken. Chuck the fuse back in the relay. We'll see if the pump comes on. I probably should have tried that first before I took the fuse out, but I can hear the pump itself clicking when I first turn the switch on, but it's not staying on. And that's what it was doing before when I had the intermittent fault with the internal wiring. If I leave it on, it should click every sort of 10 seconds, even if the carbs are full. Yeah, it's not doing that at all. See if I can wiggle the wire in, get it to work. Yeah, that pump's dead. It's not worth messing about with. I need to get another pump. Alright, so back in Roger for the journey home. I'm probably not going to be doing anything car related this weekend because I am supposed to be relaxing this month. But yeah, really happy that I got Esther home, and also really happy that I managed to get Maud dynoed the other day. I'm definitely going to have to order a new fuel pump for Maud this week so that I can get it for next weekend, so that I can get her back on the road. Esther can definitely wait a while before I worry about getting her back on the road. Before I go, I want to send another massive thanks out to Gavin and his team for doing such an epic job on Esther's repair. As I mentioned earlier, I will leave links to their website and their YouTube channel in the description. And also, massive thanks again to Che for bringing Esther home safely. And I'll leave his links and contact details in the description for any of you guys that need any recovery or transportation. So if you thought this video was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. Massive thanks, as always, for your continued support of my channel. But other than that, until next time, from me and my beautiful girlfriend Kat, thanks for watching.